Humans, for the most part, don't have a clue. They don't want one or need one either. They're happy. They think they have a good bead on them.
Why the big secret? People are smart. They can handle it.
A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat. And 15 minutes ago, you knew that people were alone on this planet. Imagine what you know tomorrow.
Took to the moon.
Astronauts to the moon.
All right. What's up, guys?
Hey, hey.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here we are.
Oh, y'all have no idea the things we've been doing behind the scenes for like the last 30 minutes or so, trying to get the streamer moving correctly and the freedom with Free World FM. What's it called?
Freeworld.fm.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
Yes.
that's it. And I got new toys and stuff I was gonna play with and surprise y'all with, and nothing decides to work today. Plug and play stuff should be pretty rudimentary, elementary, but here we go on this Woden's Day beginning. So
Yeah, we've
Moat
been having
shout it
some
be.
audio issues for sure. I think we are live on freeworld.fm. I think it's only picking up my audio though.
Oh, very
So,
well.
yeah. So I'm talking to myself over here on freeworld.fm, but it is the trial run. I think it does go live November 4th or the 5th. So we're going to get all that worked out. And then Chris, he's going to get all that worked out so you can start bringing in those tunes and all that good stuff for you guys. So, yeah, a little frustrating on that tip, but it is what it is. We're going to keep it rolling. Don't know if we're going to be going all the way till 9 o'clock because my wife has an appointment. And if the baby wakes up, we got to kill it. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Halloween yesterday. Samhain, right? We had a good time. You know, we celebrated all that demon worshiping stuff.
Oh yeah, one of my best friends. He's a horror fanatic like myself. Even
A horror
even
fanatic?
more so. Oh yeah.
Horror. Okay.
What did you hear?
I thought I heard horror.
Yeah, he might be a horror fanatic too. I don't know. That's neither here or there. But he's definitely a horror fanatic. and last year we built a little walk-through haunted house in his neighborhood, in his garage, like literally in a few hours. And it was a sleeper hit last year. So this year he was so enthusiastic about it. He started a few weeks earlier and got some pretty cool cutout haunted pieces from Spirit of Halloween store as they were closing down. So it was like he really went all out this year, and repeat kids came back from last year. I get to dress up as Pennywise the clown, and he was Michael Myers, and our kids were like the hostess and the candy givers, and we had a good time. A lot of repeat kids coming back and forth, wanting to get their little selves scared shitless by us until they weren't scared of it no more. So they just kept coming through, teasing us if they weren't scared. But it was a good time. It was fun, man. It was fun. We kept those evil demons away, believe it or not. They didn't show their ugly faces around. Maybe next year they'll drag us all to hell, and then everybody will be right.
Yeah. Real quick, yes, we are live both on True Earth Entertainment and the MellowDome. We are on YouTube, Rokfin,
Kick, Twitch, and
Free World.
And Free World.
Only one half of us are on Free World right now. Yeah. What was I going to say? The Halloween stuff. We had a good time. You know what? I'm going to get into all of that satanic stuff tonight. I do have a live stream later today, 4:20 p.m. Eastern. I did title it The Thinning of the Veil, because they do say around this time the veil is at its thinnest, where, you know, the veil between the spiritual world and the physical world. And, you know, we do celebrate it today very differently than the way the Druids and the pagans and the Catholic Church, when they took over that date and made it All Saints Day. But I'm going to be talking about all that over there at 4:20 p.m. Eastern today. It's going to be a good time. And I kind of want to argue about it because I was told by someone in the community that I needed to find Jesus or I shall burn in a lake of fire for what I'm participating in. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't think there's any harm in what me and my children did. For example, we carved some pumpkins yesterday. We had a good time with that. I dressed up as, this was your idea, brother. Shout out to you crushing this idea. I dressed up as John Nada from They Live. I should have a picture here somewhere. Let me
also known as Roddy Piper.
Rowdy Piper. That's right, baby. That's right. Here we go.
The legend.
Yeah. Shout out to Chris. I was like, man, I wanted, because the other day at work, I was able to go as the Joker and I still had all this face paint. I was like, man, maybe I should do like a They Live, but way too complicated of the paint job and stuff on the face. And Chris is like, man, why don't you just go as Rowdy Piper? I'm like, yeah, dog, I'm definitely doing that. Minus the mullet, we can definitely go down, you know? But yeah, Kaylee had some fun. The boys had fun. We also carved pumpkins. This is a one time of the year where the kids get all the candy. Kaylee this morning was already telling me she's ready to take all the candy away, but
I think seen somebody ask about the Twitch channel. The Twitch, I think, is under Flatman X. I think
Flat.
it's on my, I think it's on my old monocle or the other monocle.
You also see some gaming over there, guys, for anybody who's into the gaming.
Eventually, yeah. Haven't done it in a while, but yeah, it's in the works. It was when we show off Zach's Fortnite Flat Earth map. I'm usually streaming over there, so get our mittens in the gaming community consciousness, because they're always plugging crap in video games. Of course, you know, we're everywhere, so of course there's some truthers in the gaming developing department that's putting in some hidden Easter eggs for us toofers out here. You know what I saw the other day too? Made me think of, I haven't shared it yet. I might shorten it because it's a pretty long, but it's like a 30-minute video based off video game Mandela effects. I had no idea how many there were, especially as an old school gamer myself. And man, I'm telling you, if any of y'all played Halo back in the day or some old GTA games, there's a lot of things that wouldn't even think about going back to think about. But when you play certain levels so many times in your childhood and now they're not the same, like real quick example, Halo 2 or Halo 3, it was huge when it came out. Biggest game at the time. Biggest game.
I played the shit out of Halo.
What was so special about it, there was you know, before online gaming was a real big thing, and that was still at the cusp of it really coming out, and with lobbies and whatnot, and hooking up with your friends and playing a co-op game together. And I remember playing the whole thing through multiple times with several friends. But now the beginning parts of the game, it's unplayable. I mean, it's not that it doesn't play, it's that it says it's never been playable. So the first 2 levels of Halo, they were never playable. As of today, they were never playable as co-op. So if you go back and get your Xbox 360, put in Halo 3, and apply to play co-op with somebody new as a new game, it's going to skip you right to level 3. And then you can play with your teammates.
I'm trying to remember, bro.
No, I'm telling you, it's obscure ass stuff I just got put on. Like, I heard this, I'm like, no, bullshit. I played it with my brother, my best friends, my mom, like 50 fucking people. Like, that was a thing. I remember excruciatingly in my head how it worked, and I was there, and I told my buddy about it the other day after I heard. He's like, "Fuck, are you talking about?" He's like, "I was there with you." I'm like, I know, but according to today's reality of history, it doesn't exist. It was never existed, and out of like probably 50 of them, there was probably only a handful that really like caught me like, nah, I played the shit out of that one. I know it was real. I was there. I remember doing it. I remember certain things we talked about. And you just being on the community in general, especially the gaming community. If there was 2 very important levels of a very huge video game that came out, that would have been a discussion years ago. Like, why can't we play this game? Why can't we play the first 2 levels with my friends? But that would have been a discussion. It was never a discussion because it was never a problem. And that just seems insignificant. But I'm learning everybody's got their own emotional Mandela effect that affects them the most. They're all over the place. And
I was just talking to, I had the whole crew at work. It was the night I was all decked out in the Joker face paint. They had about 8 of us. We were about to go out and bartend a Halloween event. And I don't know what happened. Oh, yeah. Someone came in dressed up as a genie. So I mentioned Shazam. And every fucking bartender, everybody remembers the movie with Sinbad as a genie, right? And we're thought I was lying to him when I'm telling them it doesn't exist. They're arguing back with me.
Right.
But the whole, like, there was at least 8, 9, including the bar back. And everyone was a unanimous agreement. Yeah, man, that totally was a real thing. Yeah, I remember watching that. That was one of my favorite movies. Yeah, it never fucking existed. And it's that kind of shit, man. It does mess me up because I don't agree with some of the Mandelas. All right. But then there's some out there where it's like, man, dude.
That's across the board. That think that's part of the
Yeah.
piece of the puzzle is that everybody's affected differently, but everybody's affected. Because if you talk to any one person long enough, you'll find one that's going to rub, at least one that's going to rub somebody wrong when you tell them that particular thing, idea, conversation, event, whatever never happened, or it happened differently than you think it did, or someone else was there or wasn't there. And for most people, for a lot of people, because how scary, I guess, the repercussions could be, I guess, it can be perceived that way. And when you push them that far, it's just, they just revert back with their head in the sand, like, no. Well, we must have I must have forgot differently, or we must remember differently. I'm tired of always blaming ourselves for things we obviously all remember, unison across the board. So it really, there's something up here. There's something up, it could be is something as simple as too much information going on currently. Maybe the fourth dimensional conscious humans that are vibrating higher than us are kind of trimming the timeline to keep things going more smoothly, I guess. Don't quote me on that. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's something's happening though. It's here. It's a thing.
Maybe it has something to do with the Akashic record, says Mr. Miyagi.
I don't maybe I mean
Maybe.
well, in my head canon, the ether, thoughts, all of that is Akashic records. That's just Akashic were like a generalized term for me. That is like people's thought source, because it's not from us. Wherever our thoughts come from isn't from us. We don't create our own thoughts. We observe the thoughts that are presented in our cerebral, and then we based our next behavior patterns off of how we felt off that thought.
So what? Wait. So our thoughts come from
probably God,
okay.
the creator of everything, because there's no reason or example or explanation or evidence that we create any thought ever. Nobody. That's why I think the whole idea of patents and people claiming things for themselves, like, oh, I thought of this was my idea. No, it wasn't. You just happened to be at the right place at the right time in the right state of mind to receive that and be coherently in a state of understanding. And then you took it, you claimed it, and you shared it with somebody else and said it was yours. That's just exactly what happened. You never did shit. You happened.
What about our negative thoughts?
Same. Yeah, good and negative.
That's from God too?
Yeah. Everything. God creates everything.
Everything. Those thoughts that sometimes
all of them. About? Every single one. Because it's ultimate freedom. He's got to give. This is an illusion of choice here. It's a very vast illusion of choice, but it is an illusion nonetheless. Because we're always talking about free will versus non-free will. I don't think there is free will.
Right.
I never thought. I think
that's why I like arguing with you.
Right. And I feel like this was already scripted, but it's not on a plain 3D chessboard like most of us are configured to think like. This is a probably infinite degree of chessboarding, and we're talking about the infinite creator of all things. So when certain infinite ideologies clash with current traditional ones, like no, it can't be, that doesn't make sense. Well, that's fine. It doesn't have to make sense to you right now. Maybe you're not ready for it to make sense, but it's much wider than we're giving the possibility for. And in our ego taking everything, oh, I did it, me, I thought about it, it's my idea.
But why is that ego though? I mean, to be
survival.
Let's just think about this though. Like, because it's taken me to, like, I'm not trying to pass off my power to other things, whether even in a positive aspect, like to say that all of my thoughts aren't mine, but they're coming from some external source. I mean, and I agree with what I understand what you're saying. Not that I agree with it, but I understand what you're trying to say. In certain aspects, I do agree, but I don't know. I don't like passing the buck. I like taking responsibility
That's fine.
for actions, even
You
my thoughts,
you
which we
can.
should,
That's part of
and our
living here.
words
You get those choices, but nonetheless,
and free
this is
will. I don't think I have a predestined. Um, I mean, I would hope this isn't all predestined. I do believe I have
why
free
not?
will and an
Why wouldn't you
option of
hope? Why
choice.
wouldn't you hope it's predestined? Why do you so want to be in control of this life?
Why would I
what
want to
is
be controlled? Is the why? Why would you want to be controlled? You know?
controlled as in what?
Well, if my thoughts aren't my own and everything's predestined, I don't have free will, then
But
I'm
you do
not
have
in
choices.
control.
But you do have choice. You don't have free will, but you do have choice. You have lots and lots of choices, which gives the illusion of free will. You have lots and lots of choices. Matter of fact, everything you could possibly
So
think
what's the
of.
difference between choices and free will? I don't get it.
Well, okay. The choices. Let's say God has this infinite basket of choices, which is a lot more than you're ever going to be able to choose in one lifetime. I think that's the whole point of reincarnation, so you can experience all the infinite choices there are to choose from. But they're choices that was given to you. Just like thoughts. You didn't create thoughts, neither did you create those choices. You were given those things through your brain, through the Akashic records. Because of what you choose to be in a certain state of mind, you attract certain states of mind, thoughts that vibrate with that frequency. So if you wake up, you choose to have a good day, you're more than likely going to choose to have happy thoughts to go along with the decisions you made. But you also could have chose to wake up in a bad mood, to let the little things of your children do, your wife does, the neighbors do, society does, daily events that seem out of your control. You could also choose to let those things affect you. So all these choices are there, but you don't have control what comes about. You only have control of how you determine to react to those things that happen, good and bad. None of it you created. You're always on a reactive type of environment, but that's the point of this game. Think of this whole reality as just some divine game that's here to help us grow to the next level of real-time gaming, and right now we're on level 3. I like to think of this level 3. We're in the third dimension. We got 3 fucking directions, 3 colors, everything's in threes. So,
We get to
so
skip the first 2 levels if we co-op
no,
this
we
thing?
already did it. We already did it. No, we already did it. We went there, but we forgot. Just that's part of this awesome game. Like you can't really you don't remember consciously what you did the first 2 levels as you do when you get here, but it's still with you. It's kind of like muscle memory. Like who knows what type of choices we had on level 1 and 2, if any at all. Maybe they were more black and white. Maybe they're more cylinder. Who knows?
I don't know. Maybe it's just something that I don't know. Because from my perspective right now, I'm thinking, all right, so it was the creator that got me hooked on meth. It wasn't me. It was the creator that did that. Like
Why? Well,
that's where my mind's going right now.
it is the creator.
And
It's
then
all.
I'm thinking I'm just passing off my faults, responsibilities, my duties, obligations, blah, 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 or
Well,
consequences that come out of my mouth or my actions off to something like
no. It's still on you. Remember, you chose all. You keep trying to put it off those things. You
no,
chose
I'm not
those
trying to
things.
put it off.
No,
You said it's getting put off to the creator.
no,
I'm not
right.
trying.
I'm not putting on. I'm not putting nothing off. I'm saying the creator has laid down an infinite set of choices. Oh, you froze. You're frozen. Am I frozen? Uh-oh. No bueno. Just usually we go to commercial break to fix this. Oh, no. He'll be back right with us in a second. You still see me? All right, that's good. Well, I don't know. We're just trying to keep the conversation light and I guess a little heavy at the same time. I don't know. We had a whole different thing kind of scripted until Free World wasn't working and my new device isn't working as well. So and I don't have any control of all the cool things that he does on behind the scenes. So it's just me. Let me go read the comments. I couldn't get lost over here. Mrs. Tribune, good morning. Grand Rising. Chris, how can there not be my thoughts and I am responsible for the actions? At the point, wouldn't they also be God's actions? Yes. Yeah, to a degree, yeah. But you're not God. So they're not God's actions. God, what I was trying to explain is he's already, this story has already happened. We don't remember it, but this is not the first time it's happened. Probably happened many, many infinitely times. And God keeps fine tuning it in a way to make the storyline a bit more exciting, adventurous, whatever you want it to be. But nonetheless,
I want to argue with you,
yeah,
but the internet won't let me.
yeah, well, because so God, so everything's already scripted, like a DVD back in the day, or a movie you download. You're about to watch a movie. The movie's already done. The movie's already done. When you're going through the movie, you have no idea what's going to happen in a movie. It's your first time watching it. So you could experience everything. Now, the movie's already scripted. Now you have the choice to sit there and watch the movie, or you get up and take a piss break during the middle of it. You can do whatever you want during that movie. The movie's still playing. It's already done. It's already scripted. It's already happening. You're enjoying the ride. This is just God's integrated interactive movie. And if God is eternal, eternity is forever. There's no beginning. There's no end. So the thoughts and everything has already been here for us to experience this interactive movie. You only get to choose which parts of the movie and interactiveness you want to be a part of. This is where consciousness and awareness comes in. So the more you're aware of your own existence and the thoughts and where they come from, the more you can relinquish control of it. Therefore, other things will have a harder time of convincing you otherwise when you are really accept yourself to be a part of infinity, which we are. You don't have to wait to death for anything special in your life to happen. You're probably not going to see any closer to God in the next life than you can be in this one. The honest truth. That's how I feel. If you as close as you can get to God in this life, will be close as you will on the next level as well. And maybe you'll grow a little bit more on the next level than you did. I think it all determines on your wakefulness, your awareness.
I don't know. I'm kind of tired of just like passing my power off to anything, whether like for Halloween, ooh, demonic, don't celebrate this because you gotta, like, I'm not a Christian, right? And I don't want to pass my power off to certain things. You know, for example, they say it's blasphemy to worship the sun or idolize the sun or whatever you want to call it, even though there's a bunch of idol worshiping going on in these religions. But with Christianity, you cannot idol the sun, worship the sun, even though I'm not doing neither. I do acknowledge the sun, right? But here's the difference between the two suns, the sun in the sky and Jesus. That sun comes to me every day. The sun in the sky comes every day to me. And I've built this relationship with the sun in the sky since I was born. Every day it comes back and I have this relationship. The sun walks on water to my feet, right? But Jesus, I've never had an apparition come say, I'm Jesus, bro, what you need, what you want. Let me break that free will and intervene for you. You know, I feel like even like when we're praying, are we actually praying to something or are we manifesting it and willing it to be? You know, I mean, I think we are way more powerful. And I don't know. Maybe what I just said triggered some people, you know, but that's just how I'm looking at it. That's how I feel. I'm being honest about it. And I don't know. I don't even know if there's really an afterlife. Even the idea of saying that this is infinity. This realm very well could be infinity.
Afterlife. I hate afterlife. It's such a condescending term. It's assuming that there's not life after this part of it. And my current belief and understanding is that it's, again, I believe in infinity. I think for me, I understand infinity is real. I don't think it's a hypothesis. I think everything goes on infinitely, but because of our limited mind at the moment, it's hard for us to conceive it. So therefore, we're always limiting us and God. God wouldn't do this. God wouldn't do that. God hates this. God, we keep bringing God down, which is fine. It's
They
our
keep giving
baseline.
them a pair of legs and
Right.
emotions
Right.
and attributes that we
and,
have.
and that's not necessary. I'm not demonizing that. It's a baseline. We're humans. We have limitations in this particular construct. So therefore, we project outward what we see inward. I understand that. For myself, I'm just relinquishing all bounds, especially when it comes to tools of fear and control, which is why things like Halloween and Christmas and Thanksgiving and all the pagans, quote unquote, holidays, we must take it back. Don't try to abolish it. Don't try to run away. Don't try to yell at your freaking
Flip it on
neighbors.
its fucking head.
Yeah, you literally, it is you. All
Yep.
the people that said it was evil, those people, they've been dead. They've been dead. Everybody telling you that is evil, there's believing dead people. We can't even argue with them because they're dead. So since they're dead, they have zero power. So therefore, that means the power has been relinquished to us. Now
And
you
we
can
aren't
recognize
practicing
it.
it the
Now,
same way they practiced it. The Catholic Church didn't even practice it the same way the pagans did when they came in and took all the pagan statues out and replaced it with crosses and said, you know what, we're going to change the Samhain to All Saints Day. And when it was Samhain, they were, there is stories of people wearing animal skins to ward off evil spirits in the mountains, but it was also like a passage between realms
yeah,
from
and
the
they were eating
physical to the
mushrooms from
spiritual.
shit. So
That's another thing I was gonna
yeah,
say,
y'all need to.
bro. Yes, they was and it's that this is the season when the mushrooms are starting to, come out of the shit, and then they eat some, and then they're seeing this three-eyed, red-eyed demon, and then it becomes
Yeah.
folklore and stories and so on and so forth. And then the Catholic Church came in, and
Like,
then
oh,
they're
we gonna fuck
honoring
with these mushroom heads.
yeah, right, and
There's a
so
guy
on
in the
and so forth.
clouds. He's judging you.
And it's the harvest, right? Then there's other cultures where they spend all summer growing and just get preparing for the winter. And now harvest, it's time to harvest. They harvest all their food. They're ready for the winter. They have a big bonfire because they know they're good for the rest of the winter. It's time to chill. We've done our job. Let's drink our mead and be merry and all that stuff. It's the summer's end. That's literally what this is. But then we give our power up to these entities that probably aren't even fucking real. I mean, Dante's Inferno got everyone thinking that Satan is this red-skinned, horned demon, right?
It'd be so much easier if he was.
It would be. It'd be able to point him out real quick, right?
Oh, there he is. There he is again. The big ass horns. Cliche as hell.
Religion is evil, control, making us forget our power, so they take the power. Yeah. And I do believe that there is this like demonic presence. For example, right? Like when I was smoking meth, that shit changed me. Like I do feel like good and evil is very real thing, but I think it's all within us. Good and evil both live within. Whichever one you feed the most will win. And there was a time in my life where you could say I was demonic or possessed. I mean, I was possessed by these drugs, which could be a channel to some unseen force. I don't know.
Or it could just be lowering your vibration to where you're not acting your true normal self, which is way more plausible and provable because we can see it, we can taste it, we can measure, we can touch it. So far, nobody's tasted a demon. Nobody shook hands with it. Nobody's done anything. We can't measure it. We can't see how much it weighs. so as far as I'm concerned.
But then that being said, I do think that from my perspective, real demons would be like the Klaus Schwabs, the Bill Gates family. But I'm sure from their perspective, they think that they're the saviors.
Really? I think different perspective. They also see themselves as little peepees with, have to look in the mirror and be like,
eugenics
I can't believe I married a man. Can't believe it. What was I doing?
Oh, man. Yeah.
You keep your thoughts clear. Everything.
Flat Earth Head Walt says some of us have shaken their hand. Yeah, making some deals. I don't know. But I don't think there is a lake of fire I will burn for eternity in if I don't accept someone as my Lord and Savior. I don't think that that's even a thing. I don't even know, and this will trigger Chris, if there's even something after this life, because
You
I'm
don't know
Austin
that?
here, but I'm Austin here. I don't think I'm going to be Austin after this,
Well,
especially
you
if
might
I've
get the
been
choice.
eternity and been living other lives, if I've been reincarnated into this world. I mean, I understand the idea of energy is it's like a transmutation process. It's just changing, right? It's never going to destroy. So my energy, my essence could still be here within my children or the ether or whatever. But I'm not, if I'm conscious, I don't think I'm going to be like, yep, I'm still Austin. Still me. No, I don't think, I think it's going to be something, I don't think I'll even remember this. You know, if I did, I would never be at peace. I mean, from my physical perspective right now, if I was still
Right.
Austin that had a family in the physical world and I was now in this other realm, nah, no
Right.
rest in peace for me. Get me back over there. And that's just
Right.
how I feel about it
But
now. I mean,
but luckily, that's not how reality works. And when you get connected to source, there will be no worries. Instantly gone.
right.
When you can see the whole chessboard, like I feel like the levels higher than us, the entities above us that are trimming this timeline, having the Mandela effects happen, having us have lapse of memory and time things whatnot. It doesn't have to be something evil per se. It literally could be the mechanics working in the background, the algorithm working in the background, trying to keep things running as smoothly as possible by changing the most minuscule things. Almost every Mandela effect is very minuscule, very, very, just seemingly small. But I feel like that's intentional. They allow us to pick up this certain residue. So when the day comes, when we figure out the big things that's changed that we were unaware of, it won't hit us as hard. We're kind of being micro fed these little hiccups in our reality. Things being called differently. Curious George not having a tail anymore. Like just Monopoly guy not having a monocle. Like
Monocle.
it's just insane. Insane thing. Little insane things that seemingly don't change anything, but probably affect everything. But I choose to look at this.
Well, like a butterfly effect type shit.
Right. Correct. Oh, yes. 100%. But, much more real and tangible. Yes. Microdose of reality change. That's right.
So Shaolin, shout out to Lev Kung Fu. He says there are people that give testimony of selling their souls. Yes, you're right. But are they selling it to a devil? Are they selling it to a demon? Or are they just
Or did they get offered an idea that they took
yes,
to the core and allowed it to change their belief system, therefore their
their
perceived
mindset?
reality?
Right.
Exactly. I put
Oh,
myself
wait,
in
back
someone
to
like,
dude, Chris, hold on. Back to you said, taking these holidays and, work for you, flip on the head, however you said that. Because me and you had that conversation the other day on the phone. And that's what I'm doing with all these holidays. Like, Halloween, Samhain, we talked about the origins of it, how it was from pagan to Catholic Church, so on and so forth, talking about the Day of the Dead in Mexico, which starts today, November 1st, and tomorrow, November 2nd, where the guest of honor is their dead relatives. And we talked about all that. And then we pulled out the photo albums of my dead parents, of Kaylee's dead dad, dead friends, other relatives. And we talked about all of those relatives to my children. My oldest one is the only one that remembers my parents. And so through that, you can live forever. And does that sound demonic? Because when I told people that I was honoring the dead for Halloween, people were like automatically assuming I'm lighting candles, putting a star on the
well, yes,
ground and
yes, yes. It sounds
going,
demonic.
no.
Yes. In
Yeah, so
America.
demonic to sit there and talk to my children about my dead relatives so they
Well,
can
no. Well, when
remember
you
where they
tell
came
people that
from.
you're celebrating it, that's the part that sounds demonic. Because it is. It just
Whatever.
does. We're not in that society where you could just say things like that and it sound okay.
Yeah,
Like,
because
oh
people
yeah,
think,
yeah, yeah.
things that they don't understand is demonic, right? Or because this one book that you cannot question, yet question everything else except this book, or the guy on the fucking podium who has the book open will say that. when there's so much more rich culture and history going on in this realm that we just don't know about, that we will close our eyes off to because of dogmatic beliefs. I'm trying to get out of all of these dogmatic beliefs, you know, like, and they're everywhere, you know.
Yes. When you leave one dogmatic belief, you have to create your own, I suppose. Or else you become an atheist, I guess, and that won't lead you anywhere. Like literally.
Well, shit, let's do a little quick promo. Let's shout out the chat. We got some people everywhere. Shout out to freeworld.fm. Only picking up my side, man. We'll get that fixed. We'll get that audio fixed. This is a trial run. It does go live November 4th, I believe, or the 5th. I don't know. Maybe first week in November. I'm pretty sure. And let's shout out people here. We got over on True Earth Entertainment. We got Naikas. Much love, Naikas. We got Shaolin, Anson Howard, Flat Earth Head, Chainsaw Cat, Mrs. Tribune, Benny Boy. Yeah, Romans, right? Romans 13. Yeah, obey your government, because disobeying government is disobeying God. Lev, Kung Fu Shaolin, Valley Parks, Mr. Miyagi. What else we got here? Seeking Starwater, much love. They Live Sunglasses. What's up, Bill? Wes F.E. I'm the... Bunch of great people here. Rethink. Rico, Tinfoil Sombrero. Benny Boy. Let's go back down to the bottom. We got Andrew B. over there on the Rokfin. We got Mark, Nemo, Ashley Knopp, Stephanie, much love. And let's hit this promo, guys. November 10th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We got the next trivia for charity. It's going to be a good one. You guys don't want to miss it. Let me pull this up here and read this off. So we're going to be doing it November 10th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have Shane St. Pierre versus Space Audits. And all the donations for this game show are going to the Tribune family, going to Jessica, Mrs. Tribune, who is right now full-time at home with the little kids, right? They have one that is mostly nonverbal, non-communicative, and requires constant supervision. The other one's 18 months old. She homeschools both, and since Skylar has been wrongfully jailed, she is the only one present for their needs. She had to give up her job and is struggling to keep the finances at bay. Any donations made will go directly to rent, utilities, and other monthly bills needed for the children. Free Troubling Tribune. I missed his call yesterday. But many of you have already shown an overwhelming support against this tyranny. This community possesses an incredible capacity to be there for each other, forming a collective support system that's truly remarkable. In times of adversity, a strong community can provide not just financial help, but also emotional comfort, showing the strength of unity and solidarity. Enjoying the trivia for charity is not only entertaining, but also heartwarming. It's a reminder that knowledge can be a force for good, and by participating, you're making a positive impact in the world. So on November 10th, guys, let's have some fun and know that every answer brings us closer to supporting important causes and members of this amazing community. Yes, yes, yes. But yeah, we will play. I'm going to play this promo and then we'll play a song. You got a song here? Is that what this is?
Yep.
Bet. All right. Will it just go? Will it just play once I pull it up, right?
Yeah, I'll press play on this one. It's not yeah, I got it. Yeah, just press it. Right. We'll do it after the promo. We'll play it after the promo.
Yeah, guys, don't go anywhere, guys. You refill the coffee, plug it with a nugget, all that good stuff. It is myself, Austin FMX. A good grand rising to you all here on freeworld.fm, YouTube, Rokfin, everywhere else. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
With me, and you'll be in the world of your imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. there's nothing to it. There's no life I know to compare with pure imagination. Living there, you'll be free if you truly wish to be.
Since its inception, NASA has received over $700 billion of taxpayers' money. NASA currently receives roughly $70 million a day. Have you ever wondered where it goes?
B-Mark.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We have propane ready to start. 2, 1. Here. Booster ignition and liftoff of Shuttle Endeavour, NASA's final space station compartment that brings a bay window view to our celestial backyard.
And we are back. MellowDome Morning Show. It is 10 minutes to 8 o'clock here on the East Coast, hanging out with all you simulation people.
Well, we be triggering some people, I bet, huh?
Yeah, it's okay, man. My new motto this year, if one can be triggered, one must be triggered. It is the only way you will get through it, because every single problem you have with somebody else is actually an internal problem. And if you master yourself, others will not have this power over you for them to manipulate your emotions and make you things like angry and jealousy and sadness. It's clearly an obvious point that they have some type of power over you, and you must relinquish control back to you so you can become a better version of who you once were yesterday. You got this. I know you do. That's why we're all here together early as in the morning, trying to think of the things that we didn't think of before. And how can we rethink of the things we once thought of yesterday in a different light? Because if it's not helping us progress, why retain that thought? Why keep thinking the same things if they don't benefit you? Let it go. Let it go. Let it snow. And all the fun stuff. We got
letting it snow. It's gonna be cold today here in Florida, bro.
And is it? Yeah.
Yeah,
it's been
tonight.
Feeling nice
too.
out already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we deserve it. We deserve it. We had some hot ass years over here in the good old southern part of the middle equator of the realm. It's been nice. It's been nice. We do like it down here in Florida. With that being said, stop moving here, please, for the love of God. Please.
Yeah, the traffic's terrible. Please
about
stop.
The verge of blowing just the whole place up. Stop moving here. Over occupado. Go away.
Holy shit, dude. Did you see this hockey video?
No, I don't really see too many sports videos.
This dude gets like Bruce Lee kicked in the throat. And he starts bleeding out on the court. Good
No. We
Lord.
don't need that. We don't need that.
Bro, that's wild. Yeah, no, I'm not going to pull it up. No, well, it's not that bad, actually.
So I know y'all are pretty sad about the new Rachel
Thank
Ziegler
God.
movie Snow White being postponed until 2025 now. And she's getting some of the best reactions from people of her commentary on the original Snow White and how the prince was basically a creep that chased her and
Wanted to rape her.
and all this
Got rapey
craziness.
vibes.
Yeah. And luckily, the Daily Wire has their own version coming out with a more traditional stance on the story, and it's already getting high accolades and many, that real old school Disney touch that they're actually forcing Disney to actually try legal actions against the Daily Wire and the Comedy Central as well. Also coming through with the Pandaverse episode. If you haven't seen that, check it out. It is all the quiet thoughts out loud by Trey and Mark, whatever the developers of South Park, the creators are, doing a great job of
Oh, yeah, I
exposing
seen a
all
clip
the
of that.
man. They are
Hilarious,
great. The
bro.
Pandaverse, bro. It's
They're
hilarious.
like, Cartman's
Funniest
a
thing.
black woman. They're
Yeah,
like,
it's
okay, what's wrong with that? We got a problem with that? You got a problem? You can't be a black woman?
yeah. They hit on all the recent event topics and political correctness going on right now, and it's hilarious. It's the best one. I don't know. Wow.
Man, I know what I'm ready for is that Godzilla -1. December 1st, my birthday, dog. I can't wait for that one. Can't wait.
No, Disney is not going strong, Anson. Disney is doing very, very horrible right now. Actually, their stock is down lowest it's ever been in the history of Disney being alive. And
Well, it's because people are tired of getting a lecture in their movie.
There you go, woke, go broke.
Yeah. It's like I was enjoying this until I felt I was being lectured about, the trans agenda. And, it's like, good God. A link to the hockey story. Yeah, I guess that guy, I don't know. He looked like Bruce Lee kicked his ass right in the throat on purpose, but he's claiming it was an accident.
Be careful. Yeah. Be careful what you choose to click links to view. What you allow to be set in front of your face is what you allow to let in your soul. That's why they do this. This is why they put articles out this in Front Street, so that way they keep it in your consciousness. The blood, death, gore. Again, I'm a horror fan. I get it. I like it. But for some reason, I'm okay with fake horror. Like, I know it's not real. I can watch like that all the time. But when I know it's real, it hurts. It hurts my soul. It hurts me. It makes me feel disgusted. And I don't like seeing people suffer. I don't like seeing pain. It's unbecoming of this particular man. And I would do anything to stop it. So I try to keep it out of my viewable consciousness. The less, the better.
While I'm over here watching it on repeat.
Right. You're not the only one. I have one of my friends, Adams. He's a masochist. Like he watches, like he goes out of his way to fight. If he hears a story, ooh, I gotta go look that up. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to see that shit. I want to stay far as apart from that type of frequency as I can. Visualization is a frequency. Don't forget. Make no mistake about it. Just like hearing and anything else that you're gonna do in your life, everything is a frequency of some sort. Visual is the spectrum light. Audio, there's an acoustic one, and so forth. Your sensation of touch is all done by little synapses inside your nervous system. Everything's electrical. So be careful what you expose your own electrical source to, because the more whatever you consume, whatever wolf you feed, whatever ideologies you keep in the forefront of your head is what's going to make you day to day. It's going to determine how you behave and what you expect to look out into the world and how you expect people to treat each other and yourself.
I'm just reading. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Looked like a horrific accident. Yeah. I don't know. The guy gets back up and you're just bleeding out as he's getting to the sideline. But yeah, I mean, do you remember? I'm still scarred by the first time I seen Rotten.com when I was a kid. I have those.
Oh,
things
yeah.
seared
Very
in my
scarred.
mind, right? That's what I'm thinking about when you were talking about that.
So I still see the first time I saw a guy's head got cut off in my head, like too clearly. I'm like, nah, bro. It was that disturbing. Like, you can again. There's a difference between movies and reality. Reality's so much worse. So
That's
much
just
worse.
like seeing, people, your relatives. Like I'll never forget what people look like when they're gone, and you can see their life is gone.
Right. Yeah, I'm not a big funeral guy.
Yeah.
I'm not.
But you can see the difference. You can see that spark is not there, And I've seen that spark go away in some of my dogs, over the years when I was a kid. One got hit by a car, the other one died of old age.
One of the big
And
reasons why I don't have an animal now, because I don't want them to go, man.
that's part of the love, It is
Yeah, well,
part of the
I've loved
package deal.
enough animals. There you go. I don't want to go through that no more.
That's the same thing with relationships, man. Like, what I'm building here, there's gonna be a time where one of us won't be here. And, I seen my dad go through that when mom was gone, and then what it did to him changed his whole mindset, got himself sick.
That's why I've changed the way I've looked at life, and that's why this body's supposed to perceive end, because again, you don't know what other people see when they're quote unquote dying. You have no idea. You have your interpretation of it, and therefore your frequencies, visual interception of that. And that's going to determine on what you've already believed, what you think other people believe, and how comfortable with you are believing it is going to make your perceived reality, period, across the board. And then you'll rationalize it with yourself that other people must be on similar trains of thoughts when they're not, when all of us could be having a completely different experience here, where the colors, shapes, and numbers have totally different meaning. But because we have a certain understanding in our head, we assume that other people around us also have that same understanding. I think it goes so deep as far as when we die, there's certain stories out there that say these people aren't experiencing what you think that they are. And that's going to be probably one of the biggest upsets when we get there. And I don't think that's why this whole fear shit only works here. It only works here.
PTSD is a perfect example of what you're talking about. People are witnessing shit during like Andrew going over to Iraq. He witnessed stuff that he wished he could forget. And then dude, I don't think this whole war that's going on now, there isn't a person like Chris, if you were in that position to drop missiles, like what kind of person is okay with just doing that?
So again, it's a frequency. If we live
They're
infinity,
desensitized, right?
That could be one way of perceiving it. Yes, it could be definitely one way to perceive it, but you can only perceive that by going through an experience where you understand that side of it. Because I try to think like an evil fucker. I've already had these mental crazy exercises where I try to think of it like a Rothschild or an order taker. I feel like in this life I've already been that soul when I was just accepting things the way they were, and I probably would have pressed those buttons too. And yeah, being desensitized subconsciously from video games and music and frequency and society and the way history was supposed to be run by nothing but war. Yeah. So he's like, I'm just doing a job. They're just numbers on a screen. They're just little pixels on a screen. But in a realm of infinite possibilities, it was bound to happen sooner or later.
Life is short, and just like this hockey guy and things like that, just like that, it can be taken away from you. And that is where it just takes me to, we got to live in the present. You got to make the most of it. The best.
What if, I think you got to miss what I said before. What if in that guy's reality, and again, our reality, I didn't look into it. I just heard what you just talked about it. And this is going to be kind of out there. And right, this is supposed to be completely rub you wrong because it's not based on anything you've been told to behave off of. But in this guy's reality, his timeline, he's still going. He's still doing his thing. Somebody else got their next snap. You got this next on his reality, because we assuming across the board. Let me finish. You're not even let me finish. Let me finish and everything. I know it's supposed to rub you wrong because everybody's told you no, this is it. You can't think about that and everything. You saw him die, so therefore that's it. You're right. For your reality, that's correct, 100%. Because it's not. It's supposed. It was scripted. It's an infinite chess game, infinite chess game. And it's out there and it rubs us wrong, but consciousness is beyond this physical limitation. We are consciousness. We are consciousness. Across the board. How much you're aware of it varies from person to person, but it's still the same. And that consciousness is infinite. He could be kept going on his timeline while we experience a certain frequency of information that happened. I know it's out there.
Timeline
it's
is
out
a real
there.
thing. I mean, there's only one timeline. The only reason there's time is because of the objects in the sky.
Well, no, and we measure distance with it too. How long it takes to get somewhere. And you measure distance with it too, because
like
most
light
of the
years.
No, like how long it's going to take me to go to California from Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you do it
timelines,
all the time.
timelines.
You're going to do it today when you go to, or tomorrow when you go to work. You're going to be like, how long is it going to take me to go to work? I better leave at this particular time. So I get there because it's going to take this much time.
Right. And there's only one timeline.
For you, but that doesn't mean there's actually one time. Like you've been told that you ran with it.
Time zones that we're living in. I don't think.
No, there's many. No, there's isn't there like 36 time zones? There was like 36,
something like that. 33 in the south, and
yeah,
only I don't know.
Doesn't even matter.
Doesn't work on a ball.
Yeah. At the end of the day, well, I'm always coming at, and I know I'm gonna have to keep kind of repeat this and saying it in different words and just keep going over and over again because this is where I'm at the moment. Because I'm trying to push our current understanding of what we think we are and where we think we are. Because we only think this is because our given explanations and surrounding other people's opinions. But that just because that's where we got settled at doesn't mean that's it. Just because we settled here and we feel comfortable here doesn't mean it's over. We can stop. We can say, no, it's like this because I said there was only one timeline because I only experience. Well, there you go. You literally did it. You will experience that. You said it. So mote it be. Then that's what I'm saying. We have to be careful what we say and how we think we do because we only say what we think we do because of our current understanding of things. But what if there's more? There probably is. Let's be honest. And we know that. We know at our fucking core there is, which is why we keep coming at it every day. We do. You wouldn't keep doing this if there wasn't more. Because
I'm doing this because there might not be more. So I need to make the most of it now and make my life beautiful in heaven on earth now.
I'm doing it because I know there's more, and I don't want to be stagnant because to be stagnant is to die.
But the more is here now. I'm not doing things for a better afterlife. I'm doing things now for this life to be better.
No. See, again, you got to erase that afterlife crap because afterlife is every second. Afterlife will be 5 minutes from now. Afterlife will be tonight. Afterlife will be tomorrow. That's what I'm talking about. So worried about this body going apart. We're almost talking about the same thing, but I feel like you're kind of making it more, I don't know, not as enthusiastic as it could be because to me it's a grand.
To stay grounded, bro. I think it comes to a point where we say, "Oh, no one's gonna die. There's different timelines. They could live forever."
Right.
Where does the consequence and responsibilities for actions and words and things?
What are you talking about? It's still there. Wait, what do you mean? Well, no, it doesn't. It's still there. It's just the choices are changed, not the consequences. They never went anywhere. Just because you're now being aware of the choices that you were always making doesn't mean they disappear. You just know not to make those choices anymore. But so the whole point is, yes, to vibrate past our current. Because what is the benefit of just if we stay so grounded that we're stuck in traditional ways? Then where the fuck do we go? That's fine. Most people don't have to. They don't want to. This could be it for them. So mote it be for them. There's so much of us out there that we feel that there's so much more to experience. There's more to know, but we can't get there by thinking in the same patterns over and over and over again. Even the ones that the seemingly new ones that we come back around to, we got to push those too. That's why I'm always, not attacking the flat earth thought, but just being like, there's got to be more. Okay. We know it's that. Oh, that's awesome. And everything. There's always going to be parts of us that's going to be bringing in new people because there's always going to be new people to bring in. It's an ebb and flow of this energy. They're going to, you got the powers that be secretly trying to manipulate a certain storyline to benefit them. Then you have the ones that are subconsciously wanting to know the truth. Truth doesn't need much help. So when they actually want to know, they take it in and realize there's already people that's been doing it. So the ones that been doing it for so long, meaning their own self-research and indulging and studying, listening, observing, interacting, going to places and putting their own hands on it.
But it doesn't, like, I just don't think there is, like, so we get options for afterlife. We could reincarnate, come back as like, pray I'm not birthed by a family who's completely sheeped out and getting, poisoned again and all that good stuff. Or I get to go to this afterlife where I serve this God that I've never met for eternity.
You won't be
What
able
are
to
some
think of
other
all your
options?
options. I was going to say, bro, you're not going to be able to. We won't. First of all, our
Or I'm a
current mind in
cosmic
this,
egg. Like, I'm not really happy with any of those. I like this life.
bro. That's fine. The whole point is to be happy where you're at now, but it's also to take that same energy and see it forward, though, too. Because you're happy with this life now, you won't be happy with it forever. How could you? That would be unbecoming of your growth for you to stay stagnant in something that's seemingly happening for the
I'm
moment.
not stagnant. My family's growing. We're changing.
Right. No, right.
learning,
No,
it's becoming
right.
a bigger family.
No, that's great. But even that will have its limitations if that's all you want it to be. Because there's even more.
I'm not saying there's limitations. You're saying there's limitations to that. Bro.
No, I'm not.
Like, to just say, like, oh, well, I can say how I feel doesn't mean it's true. You know what I mean? Like,
Well-
I feel like I ought to be grounded and say, no, this person died, but in another timeline, he could be alive, and, we
Not in
don't
another-
really die because they're still alive somewhere else. And I just feel like
It's
there's
hard to
more
grasp,
meaning
right?
to this life. If
Hey,
there is nothing.
that's
after
the great
this.
thing about this life. It doesn't have any meaning except for what you give to it as an individual. Across the board. That's the whole. I came to that conclusion. Zero meaning.
Wait, say that again.
There is zero meaning in this life. It's a blessing. There is zero meaning in this life other than what you give it meaning to. Right. As the individual, each and every person. So what you say is facts for you. 100%. Never ever going to be anything different.
So there isn't like an absolute truth.
If there is, God knows it. Not a huge. There's no mortal walking around.
Is not an absolute truth.
Nope. It's your interpretation and your current limited understanding of it. That's what it is. You will know,
Austin,
right? And physical Chris and physical listeners, you have your own. You give meaning to death. Only you give meaning to death. You can take other people's opinion of it and what's happening and what's going on. You can do that. Most people do.
My perspective, from my perspective,
right. That's all you have.
People die.
Right.
They don't come back. And I don't think my mom or my dad or somewhere. My dad and mom didn't even believe in
Jesus. That's fine. Again, you get to decide because it's your reality. You make the rules. You literally, as you speak, you're telling me your reality's rules and what you perceive to be to manifest.
So if I change my rules, then
it changes when the reality changes. There's no way around it. That then so mote it be, my friend. But that doesn't stop monks from across the world from doing things that we only do in movies here. Period. That doesn't stop people from doing supernatural things. The 8 billion plus of us here now are coming close to doing things that would seem extraordinary to us. I think they are. I think there's lots of us. Matter of fact, they just did the scientific study of how many doppelgangers each of us have. It's about 7 people alive right now that look almost exactly like twin, identical to you.
They might look like me, but hey, they ain't.
Hey, no. They're not. No, they're not you down to the fingerprint. No, but very remotely have the same interest, color patterns, speech patterns, and even if they have different dialect, they have the same mannerisms. So I just watched this whole little this independent journalism study on it. They got a dozen different twins, and you thought they were twins when the show was starting or when the little thing was starting, but it turned and they start explaining how they'd never met up until they showed it. They did a test, found other people who looked like them and brought them together, and then did little thing, they had them talk. They did test with them to see how much they were different and alike. And it turns out they could do that with anybody. They just happen to pick the real remarkable 12. But how many of us can say that we've been mistaken for somebody else? Oh, you look like this celebrity, or you look like my friend who used to live next to me. You look like this guy you used to go to school with, blah, 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 blah. Happened to everybody. Happened to everybody. To the most prettiest, to the most ugliest. To me, that makes sense. In a simulated world, sorry if that triggers you, but in a world that infinite things are possible, of course you're going to have things very similar to each other. By default, there's only so many variations of faces you can have. It's just the way it is. So you're just going to be a certain number where you're going to have repeat faces brought across the realm. And since everything's connected energetically, to me, that makes obvious sense. It makes really clear. So I'm like, oh, well, yeah, we're all come from source. So we share the same thoughts. We share the same genomes. We share the same everything. Only us in our mind are things separate. And that's what I keep coming back to. We all get to decide, because there's God in us. God's creator of everything. So you get to decide what your reality is for you. But just because you decide what reality is for you doesn't mean that's what reality is. That's what you decided you wanted to experience and observe in this particular timeline. Again, timeline. And the things like death, things that seem remarkably eternal truth, is only, again, your understanding of what's going on. And it's usually what other people gave you. They gave us a very scary definition, at least here in the West, of what death is and all the different scary ways you can die. But in reality is, you and yourself have never experienced death. You haven't.
It's the way
you haven't.
It is the out that is the scary, because we don't know. Just like Nick says, the afterlife is complete speculation.
But it's a choice,
and it's the
That's
unknown that scares people, right? Yeah, okay. But whatever they believe is going to make them feel content.
Okay.
And I guess that's okay.
But
real doesn't. I mean, okay. So what I think is happening, it doesn't make me content. It's because I think there could be nothing after this. No Austin. And, that freaks me out too. But I'm not going to sit here and lie to myself and say that there is this afterlife and an all loving laughter life. Where,
let me help you.
Let me help myself. Let
me help you. Let me help you not lie to yourself anymore. So you can just throw that idea out the window.
I'm saying I'm not lying to myself by saying that there could be nothing.
No, you are. Listen,
no, I'm not.
Listen, no,
being dead ass. I'm being genuine. I think everything that's being said is fantasy.
All right, let me.
There is a base truth, right? And it's not just this make believe and say whatever it is, and then it will it to me. I thought we didn't have free will, but then we can will anything we want. It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, let me help you. Let me help you make a little bit more sense of it, because it's very easy, and it's based off of simple words that you just used. The reason why you can throw the idea that there's never going to be nothing after this, in the definition of the word itself, tells you it's impossible. For no thing, break it down. No thing. If no thing exists, how can it? How can no thing exist?
Okay. Back to that. My energy could go somewhere else. But now that energy, that ball of energy,
you keep thinking your body. You keep thinking your body and Austin's not energy for some reason. That's confusing me.
Bro, my memories are attached to my physicality, to this physical realm.
No, they're not. They're not.
I'm not going to keep my attributes that I have.
Your memories are not tied
Austin
to
is a name
your body.
given to me, bro. It was a name given to me in this physical realm. So why would I still be Austin in the other realm? That's a name that was given to me when I came out into this physical world.
The reason why it would carry over, because like in school, when you carried the information you learned with you, as you learned about that, you would also carry the information you learned during this school with you to college in the next and the next continuation. Let me finish. I was using it as an analogy, not something as a physical construct. Obviously, no. In the real world, in the real school of life, when you were given your quote unquote given, I don't think you were given. I think all of our names were divinely inspired to our parents to give to us through God. Again, I'm giving credit to God. I'm always giving credit to God here. If y'all haven't figured that out yet, I'm totally on God's side, the good one, the one that creates everything
We
all
don't
the
even know
time.
which God or what he
No,
is.
no,
Or
there's
if
no
it's a
which God to
he.
me. I
But let's just give
so,
all our
but
thoughts to him and
yeah,
just,
do what
he did it all. I didn't do it.
when I exactly I do
I
when
don't
I
like that.
pray that's fine, but I love it, and this is why I love it because everything goes back to source. Everything goes back to one. Since our thoughts are not our own, there are gods. Since our bodies are not our own, they are gods. It's a vehicle for the one omnipotent thing to experience all life simultaneously through the illusions of separation. Because without it here, without it like this, it can't do it. That's God had to do this so it could experience things outside of itself. Because when you're everything, how do you experience other things that are already you without doing this? So so it could continue its greatness upon its eternity of blissfulness. It's separated and various frequencies and experiences and gave its different experiences names, not just the organisms, but inanimate objects too. And it did that in like a perfect Fibonacci spiral because all I see is like this concentric circles of patterns all around me with names and people and conversation and even replicated through our entertainment and artistry. So this is completely on God's territory and timeline. And we get to choose which part of God's existence is happening at all times. It's always a choice. There's always a fearful way of looking at things. There's always a positive way of looking at things. And what we choose to look at will be the majority of things we experience. You're always going to have to be pulled. If you're always fucking with bad, there's always going to be good to try to get you back over. If you're always on the good side, there's always going to be bad to try to tempt you to do some fucked up shit. But it's always there's always choice. It's all God, all of it. And there's no reason to think that he would throw whatever you think of that experience away, so you would be fearful in an environment where fear won't even resonate with, which is, I believe, outside of this realm. I think this, again, all this confusion and fearfulness can only exist here. It can only exist here because that's what it was built for, is so it can experience things subjectively through the eternal mind. Not us as individuals. We're just a byproduct of it existing. So there can never be no thing because there's always has been something. And since it's always been something, there will never not be something. Only the illusion of it. It's a fearful construct of the mind that gets us to think there could be nothing. No, it's impossible because reality always shows us there's something there every single time. Every single time. It's
So what
never
is
let us down.
reality if it's not, if it's
No,
you dude, you got me so lost. I don't agree with this shit you're saying. It's really not making sense to me because you're saying we have the choice, but then it's an illusion of choice. And
no, I didn't say it. No. I said this separation is an illusion. I didn't say anything about illusion of choice.
So what I'm saying still fucking stands. I won't be Austin in the next life because
why?
of some experience.
No, you're not getting it. You're right. You're not getting
so
it.
when
That's
I die,
right,
I'm going to be Austin and every other person I was before Austin? Or am I just Austin now and not before Austin? I was somebody else?
No.
Like, it's not making sense. Bro.
All right. Look, you were already Austin. When you were born, like everybody else, the game of this role is to rediscover yourself. All right.
I wasn't Austin before.
All right. Well, let me. I'm answering your question. Now, that's fine. At this current moment, you're deciding your reality, as every single person does. Period. Across the board. But that doesn't change the fact that in this infinite realm we live in, that God has already set the trail and given you billions of choices to choose from. But they're all preset like a video game. They're all preset. Every possible one you could ever choose one is preordained for you to choose. That's why it's awesome. But it's still prescripted. Period. But it was set up for you to win every single time because he's good. Only here we forget, and things like bad and evil come into picture because they can only exist here. Because when you're back at source and you're connected to it, there's no reason to be scared. You remember everything. So the things you are
I'm
feeling
not
now,
scared.
that stress and that uncertainty only exist here. You at least do you understand that part?
Okay, yeah, I
Okay,
get that,
all
but
right.
I'm not Austin. Dude, death is real, and it's okay that death is real, and it's okay if there is no eternal life of Austin after this. I'm not that.
But that's impossible though. That's all I'm
You know what
saying.
my
It's
fear
impossible.
is? Why is that impossible?
Because
But
we
I
just
can't
went over
say
it
what you're
because
saying is impossible.
I'm saying because you're literally saying
There's
nothing
no
exists, and
base reality, is
there's
what you're saying.
no, there's no base reality in what you're saying. You're saying nothing exists.
No,
By
I'm saying
definition, it
death is
doesn't.
real, and we don't know if there is an afterlife. And I don't believe that Austin is going to exist in an afterlife, because if Austin did, Austin wouldn't be at peace. Unless I'm this all-knowing God who's also Austin, this, and this.
No, it's not one or the other,
Austin.
bro. It's not one or the other. Stop it. You keep trying to
So
take
did I
the rules
start
here and bring it
living?
over there.
So when did my soul begin?
It
When
was
did my soul begin?
there was no beginning. You're part of infinity. It was always existing. Your conscious mind, which is disconnected from your subconscious mind, is battling you right now, saying, "No, this body right here. If it doesn't exist with my kids, and I don't want to be here," and that's totally
Bro,
missing the part of what I'm
Austin
saying.
is the name
Totally
given
missing
to
it.
this body, not the soul. I don't even know if there is a name to a soul. I don't even know if there's another realm outside of here. I'm not going to be Austin anywhere
And
else but
bro,
here.
I
Okay.
hear you. I keep saying I'm hear you, but that train of thought can only exist in this frequency. I'm not challenging you. I'm saying you're right. As everybody else is, when they say I moat this into my life, I say this is the belief in my life. We all do it. All I'm saying
Doesn't
is
mean it's true.
collectively. No, that's what I've been saying.
Bro.
Collectively, this is God having experience isolated
What
to
if it's not?
individuals.
What if it's not?
I don't understand how it couldn't be. That I
But
would
again,
need
we're
proof
giving
that
God human attributes. Why
no,
does God have to care
I'm
about that?
not giving God. I'm saying God is having a human experience, not having attributes. I'm saying it is so omnipotent. It is having not just an experience through me and you and the listeners, but the computer, the electricity waves, the sound waves, literally everything I am giving to God, saying this is all of God's creation, not just parts of it, all of it. The inanimate objects, the organic beings, the thoughts we did think of and didn't think of, I'm giving credit to everything to God, not just some of it. So I'm not
It
giving
might
God
be.
attributes. I'm giving God everything, saying that we are the ones having these small little windows through God's eyes and experience, and we get to choose how we experience it. I choose to look at everything as positively and as optimistically as I can because God set that as a choice path for me to go down of. And for most of my life, I was going the other way because I thought that's what I was supposed to do. And you're supposed to have it rough. You're supposed to be a man and suck it up and keep your feelings inside and keep your thoughts to yourself and all this other garbage. And this whole time, I'm really like, oh, I did that to myself. Nobody did that to me. Not Satan, not God. That was just a choice that I thought I had to go down, not realizing that there is no correct path. You get to choose. That's a blessing. You get to give meaning to everything that happens to you.
All right, this is where you're
And you
confusing
have
me.
to
You're
and you have to
saying, okay, you know what? I don't like giving it all to God, right? I don't like
okay.
saying that God is why I became all my trials and tribulations is because God did it.
No. You chose the again. No, you're still missing it. You're
But
almost
then
there. No, that's not what I said.
it's one of
Again,
those prerequisite choices that was given to me, and I
no,
chose
no.
that avenue.
Right, you're right. You chose right. There's a many places you could chose, but you chose a specific route. You didn't have to go down that route, but the choices were there. And all the other ones always are the good ones, the bad ones, the medium ones. They're infinite routes for you to pet because that's how awesome this reality simulation is. It's literally subsections and subsections, menus, skill trees upon skill trees. And then you can go backwards. You can erase some of your skills. I don't want to use them. I used to be an electrician full time. Now I do freaking, carrier delivery and internet freaking marketing and editing. I mean, I chose a different path. I chose me. It was always there. It wasn't God that said, like, hey, you should start doing this now. He's like, no, now I was awareful enough to realize it was always there. I just had to choose differently. And I look around, oh, everybody's doing the same thing. Oh, we're all confused as shit. Everybody's confused as shit. Everybody's lying about how good they are, what they can do, and blah, blah, blah. We're trying to kind of fake it to make it kind of thing. But in itself, that's not a bad thing. It's just us living life, trying to consciously figure out the next step of our spiritual evolution. And even these conversations is a good way of tempering each other's spiritual willfulness to think of more perspectives of getting to a higher goal. And right now, our higher goal is to not get stuck in the ways of thinking that our parents did. I think that there's no benefit there because they were just confused as we were. So we got to kind of almost start with a clean slate.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. Definitely agree with that.
But for me, like the definition of nothing, that's for me, I think it's easy. That's why it's so easy for me, because in itself, it can't exist. So there has to be something there. And if infinity exists, which even in the spaceball model, infinity exists in space itself. So even in that model, infinity still exists. So if infinity exists, so everything infinity must exist as well. That means there's choices there that we just weren't aware that we could make, but we can make. And when you choose different ones, different pathways, different shit happens. You say, my boy Bill said, you'll never get the whole picture because denying scriptures.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I ain't got nothing against Jesus. He's awesome. If he works for you, that's great. I got as much love for him as I can for any other dead man in the past. I'm like, I ain't got nothing against him. I think his stories are awesome. The Bible is one of my favorite books ever. It's one of the reason why it's the best.
What does denying scripture mean? What does that mean?
It means different things to different people. I'm sure Bill has his own.
I mean, we've read it.
I think the Bible's awesome. I know it's an unfinished book. You could read the story. Can't
don't deny scripture except for Romans 13, and there's a few other ones you should deny.
No, yeah,
right.
I mean, come on. I mean, we're missing so many books that that aren't even in there more. That fill in a lot of holes missing in the stories, whether they be true or not. I don't care. It's just don't mess with awesome stories.
People like this type of conversation. Jason says, this is a great conversation. Perfect time for a morning jump start. This is me and Chris on the phone a lot.
Yeah.
So this is it right here. This is what you get. Today is a new day to start again. Said, God is the breath. We are the body, his vessel. Yes.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Yeah. All glory to God, man. For real. I'm like,
which God though? Which God, Chris?
I mean, I don't know nothing about multiple gods. I only know about the one that's created everything, all things, and that if you subscribe to a certain, if you subscribe to a certain book of his, hey, whether it be the Torah, the Bible, the Quran, whatever you want, I got love for all of it, and I'm for real, because this is all God created all of it. How could I not have love for all of this? He's literally created all of it. I see why he lets this go on, even in its most darkest hours, because this is a fascinating reality, and there's nothing else like it. Even if there are other more timelines, like we were hypothesizing earlier, I don't really know myself. I like allow myself to push beyond its mental boundaries so I can possibly run into new ideas that I couldn't attract earlier in my life because I was stuck in certain ways of thinking that wouldn't allow new thoughts to come into my head. You take everything with a grain of salt, of course, but still, to be stagnant and not hear any other opinions or conversation or ideology. I mean, I don't know. Shout out to Jesus and Muhammad and Buddha and all of them, man. I'm telling you, I got love for all of them, but there's not one particular draws me saying, yeah, this is definitely the past.
I can't put my eggs all in one basket. Okay. I can't. Back to the whole sun thing that triggers people. I have more relationship with the sun in the sky than the supposed son of God. Okay. I've had, weird experiences with maybe some type of something spirit. I don't know. But they've never came to me, gave me a name. Again, that's why I don't think I'm going to be Austin in whatever happens after this. But I think our problem is that everyone is putting attributes to this creator, giving it a pair of shoes and legs to walk and some skin color and emotional attributes that we have thinking that this God loves us so much, but you know, the Old Testament versus the New Testament kind of, it's weird. It's like a hateful, vengeful God, then an all-loving God, and then there's many other types.
But you know how boring the stories would have been if he just would have been a loving God the whole time. I mean, the book would have been really short. If it was set up in the way that it probably was the first iterations around Earth in my head canon. This is completely off the books. It's my head canon. Whatever iteration this is of humanity right now, he probably did it perfectly the first time, where we didn't even have the many pathways of choices we do now. So the idea of all these different sinning paths didn't even exist outside of eating a fucking apple. So then he was like, this is boring. Let's throw a fucking snake in there and give him, some of the negative qualities and see if he can trick my little humans I just made. This.
Right.
Try to think of it like an experiment, which we obviously are, to a certain extent anyway. But that doesn't make us unimportant by any means. And this is still God kind of messing with himself. People take it so personally. Why does he fuck with us? Fuck with you. You barely exist. This is God's toy. You're just in the toy box. And you're lucky enough to be conscious that you're a toy in the toy box. That's how I look at it.
Someone responded right then? What if someone responded? Because you're saying we barely exist. But I mean, shit, from my perspective, I exist more than this God from this book.
Well, because you choose that, but if you actually, and I choose to look at it again, it's all choices. It's all choices. Everything we say is what we choose to view the world in that perspective lens. And right now, I've taken off the lens of what if it's not this. I've always against God when I was younger. I used to curse his freaking name to the heavens and whatnot, just because I think why is life the way it is? I don't finally get him, but I finally get it. Okay. You gotta let the most worst shit happen to let the best shit happen too. Because I guarantee when he tried it the first iteration where everything was perfect, we were probably fucking miserable. If things was so good, you had no confrontation in the Garden of Eden, you were bored. You got bored. Just like you would be bored if you ended up in heaven just worshiping at his feet the whole time. Unless he forced you to love him, what kind of God would do that anyway? I never liked the one that forced you to love him. That's always abusive, emotional tendencies. We have therapy to deal with that here on earth. So I'm sure God wouldn't dabble in such lower frequency behavior and emotional attachments. No, he's beyond that. He created us in the first place. So, but still, God seems like it's really just messing with his own existence by allowing this place to run the way it does.
Okay. I got to say something because I'm not, these are internal questions, honest questions that just come up. Okay. So I don't want anyone to feel like they're being attacked because of what they believe.
No,
I can't settle for that. It's me. Maybe I'm the problem. Okay. But this is just me having honest, genuine questions, right? You are demon seed. I don't know what that means. But Shiloh says, did you name yourself? No. I mean, that's kind of what I was saying. That's not us. It's what's given to this physical body, right? And I'm not trying to offend anybody. People can believe whatever they want to believe.
I'm trying to offend somebody a little bit. You out there.
Well, it's not intentional. Again,
it is a little bit. I'm trying to trigger you a little bit.
Well,
I need
Chris
you to think. I'm trying to get y'all to think. I'm trying to get you to think. If it's rubbing you wrong, good. Let it boil in it, marinate in that energy, because you got to move. You need to move. You don't have to. Again, your free will. You could choose whatever path. And if you're stagnant, you figured it all out. You know exactly how this reality works. Hey, I pat yourself on the back. You're done. I guess you can go to bed. I don't know. I just feel like there's so much more to discover, and we are our own commander of our reality more than anybody else. You give your power away, or you give it to yourself. You can see the world as there's infinite things to give you, or you can see the limitations and it's all its greatness, I guess. And then you can stay there screaming at holes in the wall, hoping that changes things. But I think if we change ourselves and we change the way we think about things, reality will have no choice but to change. It's already doing it. That's why Mandela effects exist. Reality is already changing around you, whether you like it or not. It's happening all the time on minuscule.
So there's no possible way that it is your mind playing a trick. That's out of the equation for the Mandela effect.
No,
There's
I
no
don't think so.
possible way. So
Not anymore.
what's deja vu?
I don't know.
Is that your mind tricking you? Or is that some other timeline?
Oh no, it's happening. If you experienced it happening, it happened. That's like, your mind didn't trick. If it happened, it happened.
Why not? But
Why? I would argue why so.
It didn't happen.
It did though.
It didn't happen.
You literally experienced it.
You think you experienced it, but you didn't.
That's
the whole
this
point
is what
of deja vu.
It isn't the point of deja vu.
I'm done giving up my power to demons, gods, anything. I'm the one who caused my life to be miserable. I'm the one who didn't repair relationships before members passed. I caused my own troubles and tribulations. I climbed myself out of that. I didn't have some unknown figure, and this might piss people off. Oh my God, that's blasphemy. But I'm the one who changed my life. I'm trying to change my life. I changed my life for the better. And to say that it's all going to some being that I'm not even sure of who the fuck it is. I don't think any religion here on this earth that in any text written by man, they can say that it was God, but it's a third party writing all these fucking words that is a man just like me.
God inspires me all the time too.
Yeah, but does that mean what you're writing is the absolute truth? And if you don't follow it, you're going to burn for eternity?
If I write it down now, in 400 years, it probably will be.
Right. All I'm saying is, man, I take responsibility for my mess, my thoughts, my actions, my words, how I treat people, how I affect
you definitely
people.
Should.
I think death is a very real consequence. And I think this life is a very special one. It's a lifetime thing. You only get one life.
No, that's where we diverge.
Yeah, well, this is the only life I'm experiencing. I don't remember a life before this. If there was, I don't remember. If there's some veil in the sky that makes you forget, this is it. This is it. So you need to make the most of it now. There's so many people, Christians, modern day internet Christians, who think they have it all figured out, that think that the end time is coming. But the end times has been coming for thousands of fucking years, and it ain't here yet, right? And then you have these elites forcing a prophecy. I mean, how many people have been killed in the name of Jesus? It's no different than the major mainstream modern day religion of science. The church couldn't handle all these people anymore. And the church has now become government and science and so on and so forth. I think it's all a fucking psyop. We don't know. Nobody knows. And yes, there's stories of ghosts or energy or things like that. I do believe there could be this spiritual world. Maybe your soul does go somewhere else, but I do not believe that it's just as simple as saying, I think it's a cop-out. A lot of these things that were said today is just a cop-out. We have to have some base reality. It's not, I don't even believe in the simulation, but that's what makes for these great conversations between me and Chris. So
yep, not me. I'm throwing it all out the window. Everything that's been given to me, the idea of a base reality, the idea we have to do this, we have to do that. I think it's all bullshit, and it's the power of the wills. If your will is stronger than the asshole trying to sell you some belief system to go against what your experienced reality is, and to the point to where they get you where you're young enough, they actually influence your reality because they influence your belief system at a young age, which most of us have experienced in general, which is why we have these core parts of us that it's hard to let go. And that's especially about death. We've only been given the scary side about death all across the board. Right.
So we only get one half of it. That's all we're experiencing.
Yeah. So that uncertainty leads to other fearful behaviors. So then it's hard to let go of that because, that uncertainty is already so innate inside of you. It's built up its own defense mechanisms. It's hard to break it down, to let it go. I feel like that's what I've been working on for a while now since I lost, one particular whole generation is gone as of earlier this year. So my whole shift in death now, because of who my grandmothers were, and they're very spiritual. One was very dedicated Christian, went to Bible study all my childhood life. And I didn't get introduced into other religions even existing outside of movies until I was in my late teens. And then I started diving into look at myself to see what the rest of the world is believing in. Because there's no way One set of people has it all right and everybody else has it all wrong. No. Well, it turns out everybody has it all right and everybody has it all wrong because everybody gets to decide how your reality works, since nobody has the mental fortitude to understand what reality actually is. And it's meant to be that way. You cannot possibly even comprehend the potent understanding that needed to be required to even take on a more than probably a percent more than what we can already digest as a collective understanding, let alone as individuals. It's just too much. God is too big. Infinity just in itself is too much to understand. That's why no thing doesn't exist in its own words. So they always come bringing it back around. This life is eternal. You are experiencing the afterlife now. It's not later. Whatever you think death is, it's not. You don't know what death is. And you're not going to know what it is until you get there and you experience it. And then when everybody's still stuck on the old mind frame, hopefully you'll drop, which is the idea of being scared of the unknown and that it's all ending here and blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. There's no ending because there's no beginning. It's only perceived timelines and storylines you tell yourself. Again, a lot of us, not our fault. We were given through generational understandings and traditions, and even more so indoctrinations in the last couple of decades. But still, it's us as individual, conscious-minded people to look into bettering ourselves, to becoming more spiritually advanced. And only you can take that undertaking. Nobody else can do it for you. Nobody can give you a better life. They can only share their suggested ideas from their own experiences in hopes that you can resonate differently if you choose to. Therefore, taking yourself down a different pathway among the infinite skill tree that God has laid before you. And like you said, Austin, everything is your fault. All the good, all the bad, all the ugly. It's all your fault. But that's not a bad thing. That's an ultimate good, grand blessing. But you have to choose to look at it like that. If you don't, you only victimize yourself, setting yourself up for even further failure and probably complications, unnecessary ones down the line, when all you have to do is make a different choice. Even if you made shitty choices up until now, you can change it at any time. Anytime. You were literally, this is going to trigger you, the God of your world, because of what you choose to believe about it. And only you. You have to break down those belief walls that you put there. If you want to, you can leave them up. They make you feel safe when you put up these walls. I get it. We did it when we were children. We didn't even realize it. These emotional constructs we build up mentally because we're uncertain about things. We're uncertain about tomorrow, the bills, the children, and so forth. Like a father like Austin, that if you're not here, then all shit would go to hell. But we keep missing the point that God's always in control. Always in control. Whatever name you want to try to give it, whatever. But it's always happening. It's always in control. It's never not in control. And you choose to look at it that way, it makes life a lot easier. A lot easier. Because then now you're expecting life to be easier because you understand, you feel you have a closer relationship with God. And you can't get any closer than by literally talking to him, her, it every day. Because it's inside you. It's always has been right there. You don't got to yell, scream. It knows your thoughts because it's
maybe
you.
Talking to myself is like talking to God, because I'm always talking
100%.
to myself
100%.
in my head, or if I'm by myself, I'm always in my own thoughts. You just said something else that triggered me. Shit, what did you just say? Damn it. Damn it. I lost it. All I know is I'm okay. So from my perspective, when I'm told by people like, oh no, don't celebrate Halloween because these evil spirits will possess you. I seen it firsthand, right? Because I'm choosing to honor my dead relatives and talk to my children about it. They think I'm doing some weird, creepy seance, which I'm not. And when people say that to me, like they're so scared of a festivity, a festival, a holiday, that they think it could possess them or their loved ones. Talk about living in fear. Because when someone tells me that, I just can't help but just laugh at that because, yo, I've fucked with demons, all right? Heroin, methamphetamine, pharmaceutical, it's all very fucking real. And that was a living hell, a nightmare for me, right? Got myself out of it. Me and Kaylee got out of it. So to sit here and to, you think I'm scared of a fucking holiday? I'm flipping the holiday on its head and making it benefit me and my family. Is that demonic? Right? I'm sick of passing off, even mental disorders and shit. Like there's something going on here in this realm. Physically, we are in the physical, so we can't just say it's all mental and all a construct. There is no physical. Yes, we are in the physical right now. So our physical machine, our vessel, if it's chemical unbalance, we can't just toss out the window and say that's all this mindset. And there's just so much more to this. And I don't think demons are what they are. A lot of Christians are picking up beliefs from, Freemasons, this idea of demons. And, we don't know. We don't fucking know, and I'm done giving my power up to things I'm not sure about. The only thing I'm sure about is myself and the things around me and the sky. The sun is always going to come back. The sun's back right now. All of these things, they're always happening. I don't think this place is necessarily infinitely like going way beyond Antarctica, but I think this realm will always be here, and I think we will only be here in the physical realm. And maybe there is this purgatory part where you do transfer into this other realm via the thinning of the veil. Maybe it's this time of year when all these souls do filter into the afterlife or into this other dimension or other realm. Maybe that's why we do experience these.
I like this comment.
Things.
Mr. Miyagi says that Chris might be onto something. Pick and choose what you want from what you hear or read. That's funny because that's literally what everybody's doing. Every single person. I don't know anybody who knows what reality is. Nobody does. That's what's awesome about this place. Everybody's picking and choosing what they want. And there's just no way around it. Literally, there's not one Christian who all believes the same thing. There's not one Satanist that believes all the same thing. There's not one atheist that believes all the same thing. Every single person by default, and it's not a bad thing because you're a creator. You're creating. You're deciding what you want your reality to be and be a part of. But collectively, the government in itself was constructed, as its name suggested, to govern the mind, to keep the collective mind on a certain path. So that way we do have a quote unquote ultimate type of truth, something, a baseline for people to go off of. Because maybe, I don't know, I don't recall my previous lifetimes, although I feel like they existed. I have little synapses and dreams and ideas that I don't know why they would come into my head other than either being extremely creative or being connected to the infinity, which is what I always go back to. This is infinity. So infinite things are possible in infinite time, or at all times. And every single person gets to dictate during their reality what they're going to experience and how they're going to experience it.
Okay. So we just said that nobody knows and I don't know. But then Bill's saying, I don't know because I haven't researched. So, Bill, what is it that I need to research in order to know what you know? Since you know what's going to happen, please enlighten us and tell us.
Well, and then
if I don't agree with it, if I don't accept it, do I burn in a lake of fire? Am I damned? Do I fall short?
The ring of fire.
Do my children fall short? Come on, man. To say something like, oh, because you haven't researched it, bro, we've all read and heard the same stories you've fucking read and heard, whether it's the Hebrew text or all these mistranslations and misrepresentations, everyone's taken their own interpretation of these scriptures anyways, and there's many people, Christians, who won't even look at the other side because they're told that it's fucking demonic or pagan and that pagans are heathens and demonic people. And no, they're not. Their appreciation of the creation, which is actually here with them every fucking day. Like, look, oh my gosh.
You do have to be careful not to worship the creation, though.
Oh, yeah, because that's dangerous. All of a sudden,
worshiping the creation.
Book is telling me it's dangerous.
Well, no, not the book.
What's your
book only says it
of worship, right? Appreciation.
Hugging trees.
Am I doing this? Oh, Almighty Son. Oh no. No, I enjoy the sun on my face. I enjoy a nice, beautiful day with the clouds out. Is that me worshiping this life-giving sun that walks on the water to my feet?
I'm gonna be really upset if nobody walked on the water.
It's all belief systems. You believe it. We don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Even Bill. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, Bill, but you don't know.
See, that's what I'm saying though. Everybody they get to write their own.
Yeah, write your own story. Go right ahead. That's what I'm doing here.
Right.
With me and mine. I'm creating my own root system. I want my children to remember my parents. I want their children to remember me and my wife. I'm trying to build my lineage, my Bible, if you will, with my bloodline that I'm focused on, me and mine's, the future of their lives, how they can navigate in this realm and be a good person with good morals, knowing the difference between right and wrong and following your gut instinct, you know, being true and honest to yourself. I could lie to all of you and say, you know what? Jesus is my Lord and Savior, and I'd get way more subs, way more followers. Yes, Jesus is my Lord and Savior. Yeshua is my God and Creator. And I could sit here and quote scriptures to you guys and have many of you fucking fooled. Or I could just stay honest with myself, and hopefully there's other people that resonate with what I got to say. So, I mean, it's crazy. There's other flat earth Christians, modern day fucking Christians who think they got it all figured out for some reason, that are telling me I need to find him or I'm going to burn in a lake of fire. Have you lost your fucking mind? So we're going to question everything except scripture or just certain scriptures? Because again, back to what Chris just said, what Mr. Miyagi said, picking and choosing from what we're reading, it's a bunch of mixed bags of stories. And maybe there is some historical facts to it. Yes, maybe. Maybe Jesus was real. But it's 2,000 fucking years ago. And I haven't seen him today.
Whatever 2,000 years ago is. If the timeline's even right about that. Every time we turn around, we're seeing new evidences about they're lying about the actual date that we're living in. So I throw it all away, give it all to God. This is all glory to God. That's why I keep coming back to it, keeping my observations, as much as I can, controlled. Was it you have to more subs?
I could worship Satan too and get more subs, right?
Yeah. Say, boy, them supporters. They support the shit out of you too. Them Satanists, boy. Well, they love them some evil people. I don't know. You start eating some babies on this bitch, YouTube them, super monetize you, and
Bill,
TikTok will throw you up in.
Bill, brother, I would love for you to jump on. Actually, I'm doing an open panel today at 4:20 p.m. Eastern talking about this type of stuff because I'm going to be talking about Halloween, Samhain, summer's end, giving my perspective, what we've been doing here. And I want other people to jump on today and talk about it. I kind of want to argue about it, but in a healthy, productive way that we're able to do here in the MellowDome. Chris, are we not able to have a healthy discourse and disagree? Right. Like, do we need to be in an echo chamber? Is that healthy for us to be in a fucking echo chamber? Everyone believes the same thing. Let's all hold hands. Like, no, I want to figure shit out, and I want to know what other people think because I will hear your perspective. So Bill, more than welcome to jump on, brother. More than welcome. And it's all love. It's all love.
You bring your evidence, Bill. I'll bring my evidence that God is actually a cosmic comedian because man, this whole place is just one big fucking joke most of the time. It's gotta be. He's laughing his ass off every day. And it's at himself because he's in us and he created this. So he's like, yeah, this is great. This is fun. Hopefully some people not having the best time and figure out how to have a better time by simply changing the way they choose to view the world and the choices. I know, again, you can always find fucked up stories. What about the people over here during the victims of this war? What about this and that? Literally, it's going to happen. And that is a choice. That is a pathway for you to go down up. I wouldn't recommend it. Seen other people go down. I've been down that pathway. It sucks. You're always miserable. The whole world is gloomy. They're all out to get you. You want to stay away. Just trust me. You want to stay away from that shit. Anything that has any potential fear in it, stay away. Stay away, or beat it up. You can't beat it up, then stay away from it. That's the way I look at it. It's very
Man,
simple.
I hope the creator has a good sense of humor. I hope he can take a
If,
joke.
if y'all have ever been to Walmart, y'all can clearly see that the creator has a massive sense of humor.
Nah,
Massive.
Bill, we won't get mad at you, bro. It's all right, man. It's all love, brother. And I
No,
appreciate
no,
you always being here, you know. And I like different opinions in a good discourse. I love that. Gets me going, get me all fired up.
No,
You
yeah,
know?
I mean, we might have different ways of getting, talking about our God, Bill, but I'm pretty sure it's the same one. But I'm pretty sure we're talking to the same man up there, woman of it, omnipotent
Don't
being.
misgender. Don't
Yeah,
misgender. No.
it's all whatever. God knows it's all love for me. He knows my intent, knows my heart, and there's just no point though. He's like, look, if you don't go over there and pay some respect to my son Jesus, we ain't gonna be cool no more. He ain't tell me that, and unless he tells me that, I feel good. I sleep well at night. I talk to my man every day. Like my homie, I cuss and everything because I ain't gonna bullshit God like that. Made me. He knows how it is down here. We not living in the 1700s. Unfortunately, it's the way it is. Where I am now, and God knows it. And I love him. I love his creation. I love being part of here, and I can't wait to see what I'm gonna do next. What he got for me next. I'm only thing I asked for. I would like to fly. I feel like I'm supposed to be flying. I don't like this walking on the surface things. Is boring.
Oh, I was going to ask you that earlier. I was like, oh, so can people fly if they
Yeah.
want?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. There's nowhere about. I've lived there. I live wherever that is. I was there, and I want to go back because just walking around, wearing myself out, running. This is for mere mortal shit. God damn it. We're so much more. It's okay. It's good to stretch our mind and our imagination. I'm glad y'all got to join us here today on this exercise MellowDome early morning dishes 11/1/23 beginning November. I got to start getting ready to work. I got to head out the door.
Yep.
Salutations to you all. Have a 1,000 blessings upon all of your houses listening now and in the future. Shout out to all the upside down people in Australia and all those great places. And I will talk to y'all later. Peace and love and chicken grease. Yeah.
Peace and love, Chris. Much love, brother.
See ya.
See ya. All right. Yeah. He's off to work. I'm about to start my day, wake the boys up, get some homeschool in. And then later today, 4:20 p.m. Eastern time, guys, let's hang out here. It's going to be open panel. I'm going to do the first few minutes talking about a few things and sharing my experience with you guys that I had with the family during the summer's end. And then talk about, my perspective on the history of it. I wanted to know the history of this holiday, and we kind of made it a whole topic for homeschool yesterday. We talked about the history of it, the transmutation of it over the centuries to the modern day now. And then we carved pumpkins, all this good stuff. But yeah, we're going to do that today. And then I want to do an open panel. I'd like to get your guys' thoughts on, all of that. The afterlife. Is Halloween demonic? Isn't it? What's your perspective? What's your take? I just want to get into all that, but the only mandatory thing is mellow vibes. Okay. We can disagree, but we can also still get along. It's okay. You can get a little frustrated, but it's all love at the end of the day because we don't really know, right? That's the one thing I know for sure is that I don't know. And I've said it before, it's liberating, right? Now, I don't have it all figured out, Truman, and I'm trying to figure out, and it's been a wonderful experience ever since then, ever since I decided to take control of my life, turn it around for the better. And it's just been this beautiful domino effect of what me and my wife have created here and what me and Chris have created with the MellowDome, with you guys and all of that. So yeah, let me kill freeworld.fm. Much love. Thank you over there. We will get the audio fixed for next week. Cancel that one. Did it kill it? Yep. All right. And then, so much love to you guys. Let me get the link really quick to give to you. Not this one. Not this one. Not this one. All right. So here's the YouTube link again today, 4:20 p.m. Eastern. Why isn't it? Put it in here. Sorry, I'm going to grab it over here. I got to put it in the chat over here. But yeah, it's going to be a good time. And then, of course, we have the trivia for charity coming November 10th. That's a Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. It is going to be a good one, and it's going to be a good time and for a good cause. So let's make sure we do that. Let me grab the link for the GoFundMe for that too. Put that in the chat. Sorry, guys. But yeah, this is good. I love the trivia for charity and what we're doing. We've raised over $4,000 in funds already. And, you know, knowing that you've made a positive impact on another person's life and alleviating their struggles or bringing a smile to their face, you know, it creates a warm and enduring sense of happiness. And it's a reminder of our shared humanity and the power of empathy, enforcing the idea that kindness is a currency that enriches both the giver and the receiver. In the act of giving, we discover the simple yet profound truth that in helping others, we help ourselves. So all that being said, guys, much love, peace and love. And of course, peace stands for positive energy, activating constant elevation. And the love is real. And when you keep it real, you keep the real ones. We're out of here, guys. See you later today. Peace. Find it. Bam.
Come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in a world of my creation. We'll see, we'll defy explanation. If you want to view paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to, do it. Want to change the world? There's nothing to